The moment you open the back door, your yard changes. Maybe you do not notice it at first. The feeder is still hanging in the same place. The morning light is still touching the fence. The branches are still moving gently in the wind, but somewhere above you, a small bird has already seen you. And before you take your second step, before your shoes touch the grass, before you even look up, the message has already started moving. A chickadee gives a quick call from the maple. A robin lifts its head from the lawn. A wren stops halfway through the hedge. And within seconds, birds that never look directly at you may already know you are there. Most people think birds simply react when a human appears. They fly away. They go quiet. They hide in the nearest tree. But what looks like panic from the ground may actually be communication from above, because birds are not only watching you, they are telling each other about you, not in human words, not in sentences the way we speak, but in calls, pauses, pitch changes, sudden silence, and tiny decisions that travel across a yard faster than you can cross it. And the strange part is this: they may not be saying the same thing every time. A person walking quickly toward the feeder may trigger one kind of warning. A person moving slowly with seed in their hand may trigger another. A familiar person stepping outside at the same time every morning may barely trigger a warning at all. To the birds, you are not just a human. You are movement. You are pattern. You are memory. You are risk, routine, or maybe, over time, safety. And every time you step outside, your yard becomes a small test. One bird notices first. Another bird listens. A third bird decides whether to stay, freeze, call, or fly. That is why some mornings your yard empties in an instant, and other mornings something different happens. The birds keep feeding. The cardinal keeps singing. The chickadee watches you but does not leave. When that happens, it may feel like nothing special, but it may mean the conversation has already begun. And this time, what they are telling each other about you is not danger. It is recognition. The first bird that sees you does not need to be the loudest bird in the yard. Sometimes it is just a small shape on a branch, a chickadee near the feeder, a sparrow tucked inside the hedge, a robin standing still in the grass with its head tilted slightly to one side. It sees the door open. It sees your shoulders, your hands, the speed of your steps, and then it makes a decision. Call, stay quiet, move higher, drop lower, fly now, wait. That tiny decision can change the behavior of every bird around it, because birds do not live in your yard as separate visitors. They live inside a listening system. A robin does not have to see you clearly if a chickadee has already called. A finch does not need to understand every detail if the sparrows suddenly lift from the fence. A wren hidden deep in the shrubs may not know exactly what happened, but it knows enough. Something changed. And in the bird world, that is often all the information needed. This is why one sharp call can make an entire yard go still. It is not magic. It is trust between species built from survival. A blue jay screams from the oak, and the small birds listen. A chickadee adds extra notes, and the nuthatch freezes against the bark. A robin gives a short alarm from the lawn, and the birds near the feeder pause before taking another seed. Each call is not just sound. It is a report. Something large is moving. Something fast is approaching. Something familiar is here. Something uncertain just entered the space. And when that something is you, the message depends on what the birds have learned before. If you rush straight toward them, the yard may hear danger. If you appear suddenly, arms raised, door slamming behind you, the yard may hear alarm. But if you step out the same way every morning, slow, calm, predictable, the message may be different. Not safe completely. Birds are too wise for that. But maybe safe enough to watch. Safe enough to wait. Safe enough for one brave bird to stay on the feeder while every other bird studies what happens next. And that is where the real test begins. The real test is not what happens the first time you step outside. It is what happens after the birds have seen you again and again. Birds are not only reacting to the moment, they are building a memory of the pattern. The sound of your door, the direction you usually walk, the way you move your hands, the time you refill the feeder, the distance you stop before you turn back inside. To you, these may be ordinary habits. To the birds, they are information. A cardinal near the fence may learn that you always walk to the feeder, pour the seed, and leave. A chickadee may learn that your footsteps mean food, not pursuit. A robin may learn that you pass through the yard without chasing, throwing, or staring too long. And slowly, the message changes. The first week, the yard may scatter. The second week, one bird may stay in the tree. The third week, a chickadee may return before you have even closed the door. Not because it has forgotten to be cautious, but because it has added you to the map. Birds live by maps we rarely see. Maps of safe branches, maps of escape routes, maps of cats, hawks, windows, loud machines, and quiet corners. And if you appear often enough without becoming a threat, you may become part of that map too. This is why the same yard can react differently to two different people. One person steps outside, and every bird lifts away. Another person steps outside, and the birds barely move. The difference may not be luck. It may be reputation, a reputation built in small moments. One slow morning, one calm refill, one quiet pause near the feeder. One day when you did not rush closer, even though the birds stayed. And birds do not keep that information to themselves. When one bird stays calm, others notice. When one bird returns quickly, others read the signal. When the usual alarm does not come, the silence itself becomes part of the message. So when you step outside and the yard does not empty, that does not mean the birds missed you. It may mean they recognized you. And recognition is the first doorway to trust. And once recognition begins, your yard starts to feel different. Not to you at first. To you, it may still look like the same fence, the same feeder, the same patch of grass under the morning light. But to the birds, it is no longer just a place with food. It is a place with history. This is where the door opens at sunrise. This is where the quiet human steps out. This is where seed appears. This is where no one rushes. This is where danger has not followed. And every call in that yard carries a little piece of that history. The chickadee that watches from the branch may still warn the others that you are there. But the warning may be softer now, shorter, less urgent. The robin may lift its head, see you, and go back to the grass. The cardinal may pause for 1 second, then continue singing from the fence. The finch may fly up, circle once, and return before you have even gone inside. These are small moments, so small that most people miss them. But in the bird world, small moments are everything. A bird does not need to land on your hand to trust you. It does not need to follow you around the yard. Sometimes trust looks much quieter than that. It looks like a bird choosing not to flee. It looks like the song continuing after the door opens. It looks like a feeder that stays alive while you stand nearby. It looks like silence that does not mean fear, but comfort, because by then, the conversation has already happened. One bird saw you. Another bird listened. The yard waited for the alarm that never fully came. And slowly, every bird made its own decision. Stay, watch, keep feeding, keep singing. So the next time you step outside and the birds do not disappear, do not treat it like an accident. That moment may be the result of weeks, months, maybe years of quiet communication happening above your head. They saw your pattern. They tested your presence. They told each other what you were. And if the yard stays alive around you, it may mean the message has changed. You are not danger anymore. You are part of the morning. Tell me in the comments, is there one bird in your yard that stays close when you step outside? I want to hear about it.